Hey guys, welcome to the NSL Weekly Podcast. We got a full lobby here. We were a couple minutes late here, but we got everybody in. We'll start out. We got Taylor from ASL. He's our only ASL guy, but he's going to be in here on the conversation. But he's also hosting our ASL podcast, so good news on that. Thanks for doing that, by the way. Next time, give me a heads up. I'll join it myself. I was kind of caught off guard yesterday.
Yeah, all right.
We got Coach, the X and O's guy. I really wanted him in this podcast specifically. I'm very glad he was able to join. I guess the ASL guy gave you some time frame.
Yeah,
we got Extreme 08. Yeah.
So,
We got Extreme 08 and his Browns, those horribly team. We got King of the Northwest over here. He's at work, so I don't know how much information we'll be able to get from him tonight. But we'll get what we can. Diego, the Ravens owner with Lamar. I heard he had a good game with Lamar the other day. Somebody couldn't stop him. And Country Kane of the Raiders, who was just the latest victim of Joshy Poo. So, first thing we're going to do, let's go ahead and see how the season's been going so far for y'all. Just so anybody's watching this knows, we got some of the topics we got coming up. We're going to go on some of these glitches in Madden, how it's been playing so far in the league. What are your thoughts on the latest update? And the All-Pro versus All-Madden, the debate that seems to be raging specifically in NSL. ASL, it's not as bad. They're not I think everybody's just joined there, but NSL is more of a putting up a fight. So we'll talk about that and what our decision will be on that going forward. So before we do that, Raiders, how's your season going?
I just suffered another tough loss.
I want to go ahead.
The biggest thing I'm having is I need to find a way to get points. I have a lot of long drives that I either end in field goals or turnovers. I need to cut down on the turnovers and drive up the touchdown.
I think we all need to do that. Diego, how's your season going? I heard Lamar had a great running game the other day.
Nah, season's going down the drain already, man.
Already?
Yeah.
Not having a good year? Did you not win the last game?
No. I'm playing horrible.
Okay.
Horrible. Probably the worst one in the league right now.
King, you got go ahead.
The offense is just horrendous, man. I can't get my offense going at all.
Worst one in the league. Extreme 08 has like 7 points this year.
6.
I don't think you're not the worst in the league. King, you got time to say anything about how your season's going? I know you just pulled out a W, if I remember correctly. Barely.
Is that better?
Yeah, you're good to go now.
Yeah, week 1, 5 picks. Denver couldn't stop him. Von Miller killed me. What was it? The Bears. He couldn't get anything going on offense. A lot of turnovers. I didn't have any turnovers, so I won.
Yeah, well, good job beating the Bears.
I traded Earl Thomas for Marquise Lee, Marcel Darius, and a 4th-round pick.
You did. That was a hefty price to pay. What made you want to give up Earl?
What?
What made you want to give up Earl?
The contract, personal dislike at this point, because I'm a Seattle fan, so getting the fuck out of my city.
Did what the real Eagles couldn't do. Oh wait, how's your season going? The Browns.
I've scored 6 points in 2 games, so it's going swell.
Hey man, at least your field goal kicker is killing it. Zane Gonzalez, MVP of the team. I love it.
Oh man, it's so bad. I mean, it's just not moving the ball and not being able to run the ball is killing me. I mean, because I got to run the ball to open up the pass, and then the pass is dog shit. So
I don't think All Pro or All Madden's going to help the run game because our run game is pretty much on point with any All Pro stats. So hate to be that bearer bad news. Yeah, Coach, how's your season? You have the worst team in the NFL, despite the Bengals saying he does. I think it's still you. I think you're 2-0. Am I wrong on that? 2-0?
Yeah, I am by the luck of God 2-0. I've got probably 12 turnovers in 2 games.
You have 9 interceptions leading the NSL.
Woo! Hey, but that just tells you, man, you play some solid defense, got some key stops at the right times, and been able to eke out wins at the end. I think at both my games I won by 4 points or 3 points or something silly like that. And I'm not really having much trouble moving the ball as much as just scoring. I mean, I get in the red zone, dude, and everybody just becomes Superman on defense. And so I've had so many opportunities that I just kick myself in the face multiple times. I just can't convert.
Yeah, I have trouble moving the
Sounds
ball,
a lot
scoring.
like me.
Moving the ball, scoring, doing anything really. It's just no luck. I can run the
Smith
ball.
has about close to 600 yards passing in 2 games, so I'm moving the ball. It's just can't get in the end zone. Like the last game was super frustrating. I had 2 times I was at the 1-yard line, and my fullback couldn't fall forward. He just got hit and crumbled. I was like, what the fuck? So, yeah, it was very frustrating. But in either case, I am 2-0, and we'll take it because I got a killer division. I got to win all these games outside the division.
You definitely do, and I hope you upseat Pink with – that would be a huge upset if you can upseat Pink with his Cowboys and you have the lowly Redskins. I would absolutely love that.
Well, I know Pink's out there listening. He's not trying to let that happen. But you know what? We always have good games, so you never know.
Pink doesn't care if we're on All-Pro, All-Madden. I still see him out there beating people 38-6, so it is what it is.
That's
Taylor,
very true.
ASL, how's your ASL league going? How's your ASL team going this year?
Good. First game went well. Scored a lot of points. Didn't let up many. But
You are the
Wentz is
Eagles.
out. Yeah, Wentz is out for 5 weeks, so going to have to roll with Big Dick Nick.
Hey, man, it is what it is. Yeah, he was a Super Bowl MVP. You'll be fine. All right. First thing I'm going to go is we'll be advancing to Week 3 tonight. All the games are played in NSL in one day. Congrats on that, guys. I want to give everybody an applause on that. We will be advancing, I believe, by midnight tonight. I think BM and Ric Flair will be playing at 11. So good shit on that, guys. Especially with the hurricane coming, it's going to be great to be one day ahead of advance on that. But saying that, NSL, I wasn't able to get on in advance, and Rabbit forgot to turn on the injuries. How are your injuries in Week 2 going? How'd you feel about the injuries going into Week 2 there, Kane?
Mine wasn't too bad. I had one. I lost Derek Johnson, but other than that, I really didn't get anything.
Let me just ask this. Did anybody have any bad injuries going into 2 weeks besides Carson Wentz and ASL?
Nope.
It looks like NSL on the same injury setting is not as bad. ASL really is – they do not like those injuries. I don't think they're used to what we did last year, so I think they're kind of a little weird about that. But NSL, we're a little bit better off injuries. All right, now getting on to Madden, the glitches this year. Let's talk about, is it acceptable? This is Madden 19 or now we're seeing some of the most ridiculous glitches. What are your thoughts on that, Kane? Do you think that it's acceptable? It's a AAA game. It's a lot going to a new engine. What are you? What are your thoughts about these glitches that we're seeing this year?
Man, some of these glitches are unbelievable because I had one where I was playing a guy and he did a run play and he got knocked down in the backfield. Mm-hmm. The guy wasn't touched down by any of my defenders, but it wouldn't let me change to any of the defenders around him. So, of course, the guy gets up and runs 60 yards for a touchdown. I hated it.
I mean, that's the kind of stuff we're seeing this year. One major glitch I've been seeing, and unless there's a rule change that I'm unaware of, if you kick a field goal within the red zone and you miss it, which I've been doing lately because I'm a terrible field goal kicker apparently, the ball gets put back at the 20 instead of where you kicked the field goal from. So as far as I know, that's not an NFL rule. But, Diego, I know you've seen some glitches this year. What are your thoughts on the glitches going forward?
Man, I don't know, but apart from me not playing well, I have to admit I'm not one to, put excuses before me. But there were a lot of plays in my 2 games that just went against me and didn't go against the other team. It was like I saw one play where my defender, who was my safety or my corner, stepped in front of the receiver to make the perfect interception, and it went right through the guy. Mm-hmm. Literally right through the defender, and the receiver caught it. That's a big glitch. But okay, I'm okay. No, I'm not okay with that, but it's wrong. But what I'm really more concerned about is how I've made some good throws that the man was open, and all of a sudden the defender just flies right in and makes the pick.
Yeah.
And that
I,
does bother me.
a couple
It's
weeks
not fun.
ago, I posted a video of Diggs doing the comeback route with his ball right here, like this far away from his hand, and then next thing you know, it's in the defender's hand behind him. So, and that was pure glitch.
Yeah.
King, do you have any? You able to talk? What are your? Have you seen very many glitches this year? And Madden, what are your thoughts on it going forward? Is this acceptable for a AAA title?
Week 1, end of the game, garbage time, touchdown to Julius Thomas. He got knocked out in the back of the end zone. They called it as a touchdown. That's it.
Yeah, and Extreme. I know you. How are your thoughts on these glitches? Do you see a lot of them? What are your thoughts on it? Go EA.
I didn't think that the first game was as bad, other than the fact of, the superhuman linebackers and even DBs and stuff. But I played Blue last night, and it was third down, and I don't know, I think it was like 6 or something. And he runs the ball, and he stops a yard short of the first down, and it gave him the first down.
Mm-hmm.
And I even went and challenged it, and it said ruling upheld. And then later after that, I threw a touchdown pass, and he takes 3 steps in the end zone and runs out the back of the end zone, and they called it, incomplete.
Let me say, I personally don't. The fact that everybody has a glitch story 2 weeks into the season blows my mind for a AAA title. Coach, you said this is the worst Madden you've played, and you think glitches are because of it. Go ahead and explain yourself.
Yeah,
Coach just glitched out himself.
I know tons of people just hyped on it. I said it from day one. I was like, this is absolutely the worst Madden they've ever put out. I don't even think it's a comparison to any of the other Maddens. This looks like, honestly, it looks like one of those off 2K titles that tried to compete. But it is what it is. The one good thing about it is the last time they moved to a new player movement engine, it was shitty. And so that's the last time I remember this game being this bad. And so the good news is they'll fix all their broken shit, or at least a lot of it, and call it a new game in 10 months.
That's true. Taylor, you're in 2 different leagues. What are your thoughts here? I know you've seen some glitches. 2 leagues.
Yeah, one of them is like wide receivers just letting a ball hit them in the helmet instead of catching it. Another one is ball hawk doesn't trigger sometimes. I found out, though, it happens when you're not squared to the line of scrimmage. So maybe that's actually more realistic.
All right. This update that came out changed a lot of things. I want to say one thing. I did extensive testing for the league going forward. I don't know if you guys know this. I probably played 50 games. I think I played most of you. I know I played Coach, Extreme, Diego. Taylor, I don't think I played you. But I did play the ASL Super Bowl winner. Who was it? What's his name? The other guy.
TGI?
TGI, yeah. I did play him. And I didn't play you, Kane, but I played most of y'all. I played a lot of games. I said over 50. I created a test league. A lot of y'all ran it. A lot of y'all played. And this update, I feel like, wiped all that out. Everything I did, all the testing I did, all the sliders, the perfection, besides the regression and the progression, was useless. Going through the update, I think it was a minor update. It had a lot of stuff on it, but I don't feel like a lot of it really affected gameplay, except 2 things in particular. I felt like one of the things they did was change the way that, by their own words here, let me give them to you. They said that they changed the way that linebackers that aren't looking at the ball are able to turn 180 degrees and do a jumping interception. Pretty much the deep ball interceptions that we see when they just stop, turn on a dime, jump straight up in the air and get it. It was based on spectacular catch, which I didn't know, but they said it wasn't happening enough. If you read it, this is pretty much paraphrasing. So in order to make it trigger more, they put it on jumping and agility as a combined thing. So that'll happen more. Another thing they did was decrease catching on certain catches. which I didn't agree with. I thought catching was actually good from the gate. I thought that was one of the things they worked well on. And then they increased defense a lot, which needed to happen, but in turn made the all Madden defense, in my opinion, much stronger than anything we had tested going to the test servers. So that's my thoughts on the update. I don't know if tomorrow. All right, we'll go with Kane. I know most of y'all probably don't go through all the stuff I do and all the testing and all the looking at all this stuff. But Kane, do you have any thoughts about? All right. Looks like King's gone. I'll see you, man. You have a good night at work.
Later, bro. Take it easy.
King, you have any thoughts on the update?
I haven't really noticed anything big yet.
Okay. Has anybody? Ravens, Diego. All right, Kane. Coach, let's go with you, Coach.
Oh, there's no question. That agility comes in a lot more with users. There were passes I was getting over user heads in the last version that were really good time passes. Guy looked open, and the user's just screaming up there making picks. It's a good play by the user, but it just seems like before the update, those passes were going over his head. So
yeah, I have to agree. Yeah, that's another thing. I do feel like users in particular got a huge boost with this update, probably because the MUT community complained. I do agree with that 100%.
So I think that's hurt it. And as far as anything else, I've also seen, where I've played a guy who just plays the defensive line, and his middle linebacker literally ran 20 yards across field. The ball hit him in the back, and it was an interception, and he turned around and ran the other way. And he didn't put his hand up. He didn't do nothing. He was like in pursuit of the route, and the ball just hit him in the back and interception. So
that's a huge problem with Madden. I felt like definitely when they said the defender not looking at the ball interception in their update, I knew that it was a fucked update, because when you say those words, you blow my mind at that point. That's not part of the game. Coach, you coach high school football. I know it's not NFL, but if you're how many times has your defensive back not looked at the ball and just did anything remotely to what the defenders in Madden can do? Never.
I mean, even if it is done, if the ball's hit last minute, the ball's coming in at such a velocity, it's going to go up in the air. They may bobble it and then catch it, but to just grab it with one hand and take off, yeah, that's
just do a 360 turn one-hander. Yeah. Taylor, have you seen any differences with the update yourself?
Yeah, I don't know if it's true or not, but I feel like in the games I've played, I've had a lot more user picks on balls that were getting over my head before. So that's about it.
I can definitely see that. I think catches have took a dramatic drop too. Contested catches specifically, where pre-update, Denard Hopkins was a monster for me personally, and even Diggs. Thielen was still dropping him pre-update, but Diggs would catch him. Now I believe since the update, I've had 6 drops with Hop, 4 with Diggs, and 4 with Thielen, and these are 90 catch and traffic guys. Why are they dropping these contested balls? I understand 1 a game, but not 6 and 2 and 4. Like those are ridiculous numbers to me, especially since I was used to throwing those. So that's going into our next topic here. All Pro versus All Madden. Now, obviously, as a league, that's one thing where I had done extensive testing. I kind of feel like I shafted y'all a little bit, because honestly, had it played like this in the test league and some of this stuff pre-update, we probably would have started it on All Pro. But now I feel like we started on All Madden, and I feel like the game isn't playing the way I put those 50 test games in because of this update, which I know a lot of these updates are because MUT people and the competition people give them feedback. Those are the people in their ears. Those are the people going to these competitions, making the money, getting shot up, whatever they do in those competitions. I don't know. Whew. But we're not making any money off this video now. Not that we ever do. But point being, we're not in their ears. People like us, there's only one league, franchise league that I know of that's in their ears, and they're a franchise league that pays for views. So, which we won't mention them, but we do our best as we can. We don't have the funding they do. I think they have their donations are in the $3,000 range, and we hit league high 800 or 900 this year. So we're a little less than them, and they buy their Juck can tell you this. They buy their users computers and stuff. Like, how crazy is that? But anyways, if you got that kind of funding, I guess you could be in EA's head, but they're not giving them the information. So I'm ranting now. All Pro versus All Madden. What are your thoughts? We'll start with you, Country Kane. You were in the league last year. I think you started in ASL, so you weren't through the debacle. You might have came in when we were on All Pro. We have typically been an All Madden league, but last year we had to switch to All Pro because we were on pace for 1,000 interceptions. We're on pace for that again, maybe a little bit more this year. What are your thoughts, Kane? Kane? All right. What are your thoughts, Diego? Kane is gone.
I think you should just start adjusting those spiders and experiment. You know, what can be worse? It won't get any worse than what it is now.
That's not a good. That's not a good statement, Natty. It can't get any worse than it is now. That should not be how we play Madden. Extreme. Here's the thing. I adjusted sliders last year. I did a lot of that same thing, and I feel like you can only adjust them so much, and at a certain point, it doesn't help a lot. So a lot of the issues we're dealing with might not be resolved by that. I know I turned interceptions down way down last year, and it did decrease the interceptions, but it came to the point where you were just dropping stupid interceptions. Like, you're getting swatted down for no reason. Extreme, I know you were an All-Pro proponent. I know you like All-Pro better. You were going for it even before I chose All Madden. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I mean, as far as the All Pro, to me, I just think that it has a better ability to be more fun. I mean, instead of anything being overpowered or anything else, we already got to deal with, a lot of people in here. The user linebackers are phenomenal, and I don't need to be able to have to throw to, the whole defense. It's like a bunch of users because they jump on the ball so quick.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I just don't think that I'm actually good enough to be able to play All Madden. I mean, I barely get by sometimes. But last year I did good on All Pro, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be the same game this year on All Pro either. So either way, I'm here to play. It's just that I would enjoy it if it was more fun.
Okay, that is part of the reason. Go ahead. Yeah, 6 points in 2 games. That is pretty bad. That is part of the reason why we are here. We're here to have fun. We're here to enjoyment. And part of the question we ask here versus All Pro versus All Madden is, do we want all defense to be a little too overpowered or offense to be a little too overpowered? Which is more fun for people, because at a certain point, your offense is going to probably be a little too overpowered on All Pro no matter what we do. And the defense is going to be a little overpowered on All Madden no matter what we do.
No, I like the defense. I like playing defense, and I like this. But I would rather be able to move the ball on offense than be able to stop everything.
Okay.
I mean, because if you score more points, obviously it's more exciting.
Fair enough, Coach. You know football better than any of us. You've played both. I think you were a proponent for All Madden before the update. You've played some games now. You've thrown a lot of interceptions. You're 2-0 though. What are your thoughts on All Pro versus All Madden?
It's probably not going to be the most popular out there, but honestly, I think your 50 games of tests went for naught, and you got to scrap it and retest it. Unfortunately, I don't see another way around that. So you can get the right settings, understand, do we need to be on All Madden or All Pro? Because it's just a different game. Whatever the update did, whatever they claimed, whatever they didn't, it's made it unenjoyable. 2-0 means nothing. I can care less. Neither one of the games were fun. I just happened to come on top.
I actually have to give the exact same feedback. I won my first 2 games in NSL and ASL. I won them both, and I won them, but they weren't fun, and they weren't a game where I had to outthink anybody. It was my defense is really good on the Vikings, and Lamarck was running the ball on me fairly well, and I won because he threw interceptions that were crazy interceptions, and Harrison Smith took one back 105 yards, and then Mike Hughes did a diving interception to finish the game, and I won. I didn't feel like I deserved that win against Lamarck, though, and I'll say that live, but I'm 1-1, so
I said the same thing about my game versus the Cardinals. I should not have won that game.
Taylor, I was talking. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Nah, same. I was just echoing your statement. Same comment game for one for me.
Okay. Taylor, I know you gave feedback to me earlier. I was asking you about this. Go ahead and you said you're in an All-Pro and an All-Madden league. Go ahead and give your feedback. I know you don't have a lot, but whatever you have.
Yeah, so I'm playing the All-Pro league with the Ravens and an All-Madden team with Philly. The leagues play almost the same to me, and it may be because of the teams. I'm not sure, but also I've always liked All-Madden, but maybe you would know more than anyone, July. I'm like the most boring player ever. I play defense. I just sit there and like actively take sacks instead of throwing interceptions. So like All-Madden's kind of my game style to begin with.
Yeah. I understand that. And I think most people, like when you say all pro, it has a certain distinction about it that all Madden doesn't have. It's like, oh, you guys are all pro. You're not, you're not up to the task. But our leagues have never been about playing on the top level of competition. I think anything I've tried to explain that it's not at all about the competition. It's about the experience. It's about playing football close to what you see on Sunday. And we got Magic joining, and I'd like to hear his comment too. He's about to join right now. But it's not about it is about who's the best because you want to win the Super Bowl, but it's not about winning. It's about winning the right way, winning a legit fun game. Everybody had a good time. You play, we just dropped out. We just lost somebody. Anyways, you play, you win, and you win the right way. So that's hold on here. I've got Magic joining. He has some stuff to say about this. All right, but Coach, I would ask you which one do you think plays more sim, but honestly, I don't think either does. So
honestly, I don't think I know. I like you. I probably played 30 or 40 games pre-patch. So at this point, I'm 2 games into the patch or 3.
It does. Do you agree though that it doesn't feel? Because I know you played just as many games as I did. You and Diego.
No.
How about you, Diego? I know you probably played twice as many games as I did. You played, and you played, and you played. Do you feel like the post patch it's any different?
Oh yes.
I know you play.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Definitely. I joined another league, so now I'm in 3 leagues. I promised I was only going to do 2, so I joined the third one.
Plays bad. He said I'm in 3 leagues.
Yeah.
3 leagues, man. He don't give up. He does it. All right, go ahead.
And let me tell you, man, it's all the same. They're all on old Madden. One is on default, all 50s. They haven't changed anything. And the other one, like I said, the interception slider is at 75.
It's a bold move,
so
God.
I played my first game today there, not knowing it was at 75. And I'm not exactly Mr. Accurate. So I threw 5 picks. 5 picks. I didn't have fun. I didn't have fun at all playing the game.
Throwing 5 picks is nothing.
I mean, guys were just coming out of nowhere to picking the ball off. Some of them were my fault. Some of them weren't. Drops. There's a lot of drops now compared to pre-patch.
Okay, so you can agree with that.
That's very frustrating.
You agree with that on me too. As soon as Magic comes in, we're waiting on him. He said he's joining. But I agree with you all the way on that. I do got to say we have an announcement coming up. I'm just waiting for Magic to join so he can give his feedback, and I'll tell you what we made a decision. I talked to Rabbit about it, and we'll explain what we're going to do going forward. Oh, so you know what? I don't know where Rabbit's at. Let me go ahead and say it. So we'll go ahead and get on because we've already been here for 30 minutes. But as soon as Magic comes in, he'll give his feedback. NSL's going to All Pro starting this advance tonight. I know I tested it, and this is what I feel bad about. I started us on All Madden, and I feel like I let us down because I didn't test. I couldn't get the testing in enough. Now ASL is going to stay on All Madden for right now. We don't know. Oh, here we go.
There you go.
Hey, we got Magic in here. What's up, buddy?
What's up now? What's up, everybody?
Magic. We were just talking All Madden, All Pro. What are your thoughts on the two?
Honestly, I think if we had to bring back the fun for everybody, I think we should go to All Pro. All Madden seems a little bit off this year. I feel like the sliders just haven't been put in effect yet. Feel like deep passes to receivers, like been a lot of drops this year, and it feels like Madden 18 all over again. Honestly,
It does, and it did not feel like that pre-patch, which is the crazy part. Let me say, Bengals, congratulations on the good start to your season. You are actually, believe this or not, this the person that's telling us to go back to All Pro is the best passer in our league right now. Four touchdowns, 1 interception. The Andy Dalton. Bengals off to a hot start in the NSL. So you're willing to sacrifice that for a little bit more fun. That's surprising to me. A lot of people, when they have 2.5 start, they don't want to switch it. But let me say, I have to agree with you 100%. And the reason why we're going to go back to, I don't know if you just heard me, Magic. We're going back to All Pro starting next week, 50 sliders. We're going to start back from the rip. I don't have time to do another test league, so if we have to make adjustments going forward, we will. But we're going to start at 50s again, except for injuries, which will be at 35 in NSL. ASL will stay where they're at for right now. Maybe try and just adjust the sliders a little bit more. But I think the reason I got to do this is because a lot of people aren't having fun. And this league is 50% about having fun, 50% about playing your games and enjoying yourself. Like, why are we doing this if we're not having fun? So if half the league's frustrated, if 27 out of the 32 users have thrown more interceptions than touchdowns, who's having fun doing that? That's my question. So, Taylor, you seem a little interested about this. What are your thoughts on it?
I don't know. I think All Pro is always more fun than All Madden because you are going to put up more points. Like, there's no doubt. I mean, again, like you played me, I'm the most boring player ever. So
I don't think you're the most boring player ever. I think your defense is some of the most exciting defense I've ever played. But we'll your offense might be a little bit more toned down than some, but I think your defense is interesting to say the least. By far, I can go through every defense. They're going to be the same. Cover 2 zone with a user that's really good. Okay, yeah, I've done that. Yeah, you guys are great. Congratulations. You don't do that specifically. I was able to abuse the outside routes last year. Not with you. You made sure, you know what? If you want to beat me, you got to throw at my user. And I would. And I would throw 4 interceptions, but I would throw for 400 yards.
Yeah, I'd trade the yards for the picks.
Yeah, and I played you a lot drunk, so that was into it. Now, that being said, if the NSL goes right, Rabbit does like to keep parity. It is Rabbit's league. I don't force him to do anything. So that's why he's staying on All Madden for right now, at least for another week. He said he doesn't like to separate the parity, though. So if NSL goes All Pro, eventually ASL probably will too. Depending.
ASL hasn't had many complaints about it, though. That's probably why he doesn't need to yet.
That's why we're not moving to All Pro on that. NSL, on the other hand, the chat has blown up considerably in the last 2 days with people. Really, it's nobody going the All Madden route, but I know there are some people that like All Madden a little bit better. You like it per se yourself because of your gameplay style. It wins you games. So that being said, I know, Kane, you're still not here, are you? He's not. Diego, what are your thoughts? We're switching to All Pro.
I'm all for it.
You're all for it. And let me say, you were somebody else who was at All Madden. I know you were a strong proponent for All Madden going before this. Yeah. Going into last year. So yeah. So you feel like me, it just changed the game. This patch changed the game completely, and we got to go All Pro.
I went from like being all gung-ho and happy about this whole league and and everything and the whole Madden. All of a sudden, you feel like, wow, it took the blood out of me. I'm not having fun at all.
Yeah, what's the use of playing it? That's the point. Extreme 08, you're back. Welcome back, buddy.
Yeah.
We're going All Pro. What are your thoughts?
I'm hoping that my game will improve offensively, where I might be able to score a touchdown for a change. But I haven't really played a whole lot of this Madden at all anyway. I mean, I was in the test league, and you were switching things up back and forth, and it was, I was enjoying it. I was actually getting touchdowns and scoring points. But since I think moving here, starting.
I think a lot of that had to do with the update, changing things. Magic, I'm gonna tell you right now. I was thinking about going through and trying to fix the all Madden sliders. What you said earlier brings me to going all pro to this week. I didn't want to go through that 6 weeks like we did last year of everybody just being miserable and the game's not being fun. That's not what this league's about. So your comment specifically, I don't know if you knew this or not, brinkered us to going all pro. What are your thoughts about going all pro?
I think just going all pro will be just it's good for the league for everyone. Because I mean, the last 2 games I played, I know if you play against a good user, it feels like bad. Even when I'm winning the games, it feels like I should look in the chat and just doesn't seems a little bit off. So I think it's a good way to go to all pro.
Okay,
don't mind it.
Yeah, well, and let's hopefully you keep your success. Taylor, I know you have probably no opinion on this, but if ASL goes all pro, what are your thoughts on that from all Madden?
It'll, like I said, all pro, the games are always a lot funner. The biggest thing I've seen in all pro is like there's this zone kind of between the safeties and linebackers that you could just feast on a whole game and just rip it apart. That doesn't quite open in all Madden.
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, that's the only big difference I've really seen between the two.
Mm-hmm. I know what you're talking about, the deep middle. And some of those users will definitely try and take care of that themselves. So somebody like me who uses linemen are going to be a little bit more interesting. One thing I'm going to enjoy, and one of the reasons I want to go all Madden or all pro is because on all Madden, you can man blitz, and it's very effective. And not just against anything, but most things, because the man coverage holds on tight enough to get before the to hold on long enough before the safeties or the linebackers will come and sack you, or the safeties, whoever you're blitzing, and makes it a really hard defense to counter. So I've seen multiple times in these leagues where they're man blitz pressing, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. I was playing somebody using the Broncos, and who was it? One of their third string corners, and he was on Denard Hopkins, and he was just absolutely like shutting down Denard. Like Denard couldn't get any pressure off of him or anything. So one thing I'd have noticed on all pro is we're going to have a lot more contested catches. I played a couple all pro games today for testing, and the contested catches go up. The offense is going to go up dramatically. The pass rushes still seems to be there, but the coverage is a little more off. Like Taylor said, that there's going to be a little bit middle of the field, but I think even in the NFL, that's tends to be a more of a soft spot, but not as big as it is in Madden. So we'll see how it goes. I'm sorry, guys, that I've did all that testing, but like Coach said, who's not here anymore, it was all for naught. So
one thing I want to say is with that man blitzing, even in all pro, it's overpowered. Like,
Agreed.
Man defense, like people like teleport to the ball now. It's weird.
And another thing is the number one counter. If you've anybody knowing any simple football concepts, what do you do if you want to stop the rush? Screen. A man rush specifically, halfback screen, and the halfback screen is the brokenest play in Madden this year. I think I've thrown like 3 or 4 picks trying to run the halfback screen on man blitzes, because your halfback will run straight into the whole group of people, and then if by some god awful chance he actually gets out of it, he's still going to get tackled by because your lead blockers aren't going to block anything. So just a terrible play this year. Wide receiver screen still works, but the halfback screen just is terrible. So I hope what we're doing fixes things. I'm sorry for anybody that loves all Madden. I try and do what's best for the league. Just take this as me trying to do what's best for the league. Too many people aren't having fun. I feel like even last year, you could still get some defense going on. Taylor, who is now the Eagles, is going to feast regardless of who he has. I think he could probably take the Redskins and put up a pretty good defense. What do you think about that? You're pretty good on defense, man? You good with any team?
Oh, yeah. As long as I have a linebacker.
Yeah, it doesn't matter for you. Got a great defense. We expect to see you called up to NSL maybe this year, man. You put in your work in an ASL, and you're hosting the podcast, and I really appreciate what you do in ASL. So, does anybody have anything to say before we go? It's about a 45-minute podcast, but I'd like to get y'all off. And I'm surprised there weren't any All Madden components here. Like even the people that were really heavy on All Madden just a week ago seem to be more All Pro right now, which is very surprising to me. So, does anybody have anything to say before we go?
What would happen if a new patch comes in? Let's say a couple of weeks from now.
All Pro is All Pro. It plays pretty much. It's going to make adjustments, but if they make the defense even harder, then it is what it is. We're going to have to work with what we can at the time. There's always going to be new patches. This patch is the biggest patch they put out, though, the week 1 patch. Okay. So there are probably going to be some changes, but not as big as we see right now based off a typical Madden. I think last year they put out right after the Super Bowl or something. They put out one that was pretty big, if anybody remembers that. But post that, they got to start working on the new game sometime. So, anybody else? Glitches. That if I think if they need to work on a patch, they've got plenty of glitches to work. I threw a touchdown the other day. It wasn't called a touchdown because he almost stepped out of bounds. They challenged it, and they gave me the touchdown, but Deshaun Watson and Julius Thomas didn't get any credit for it. It's just no. And if you look on the replay screen, it said incomplete pass, so I couldn't even watch it again, see how close it was. So, yeah, the glitches are bad this year. That being said, hey, let me just throw out a friendly reminder. If you guys teleport downfield, pass blockers, just go down, please. Come on, don't make this so we got to go into a big thing. If a crazy glitch happens, just make it right, guys. Okay? You guys know what's up. This is friendly competition. Anything else? Anybody got to say before we go? No? All right, guys. Appreciate you joining, and see y'all next week. Peace. All right, guys.